Good afternoon and welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting of Monday, June the 3rd, 2024. In accordance with LB 898, please be advised that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chamber by the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Following the pledge, we will observe a short moment of silent meditation. Please remain standing if you are able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The order of business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item must first register and sign in at the table located right at the door next to the hand sanitizer. The council shall require any member of the public desiring to address the council to identify himself or herself, including an address and the name of an organization represented, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. Anyone wishing to speak on an item on the agenda should come forward after the clerk reads that item. The applicant may then make one short rebuttal. Each speaker should begin by stating their name, address, and organization, and whether you are speaking in favor or in opposition to the item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. On the second and last Monday of the month, immediately prior to the adjournment, anyone may speak on an issue not on the agenda for that date nor planned for a future agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please read the first item of business?
Our first item of business today is a reminder that due to the Juneteenth holiday, City Council will not meet on June 17th of 2024. Next on the agenda would be our consent agenda, sections 1, 2, and sections 3.
Is there anyone here speaking on the consent agenda? Anyone here speaking on the consent agenda? All right. Seeing no one coming forward, Madam Clerk, we may proceed.
Item 1A is appointing Lynn Sunderman to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a term to expire February 1st of 2029, introduced by Carlson.
So moved. Second.
Second, Beckius.
Just want to take a quick moment to thank Lynn for his continued service to the city of Lincoln, as now joining the Board of Zoning Appeals, but previously in other capacities, including Planning Commissioner years ago. So thank you, Mr. Sunderman.
Thank you. All right. Any other comments or discussion? Madam, you may call the vote.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Item 2A was introduced by Schob.
So moved. Second.
Second, Weber. Any comments? All right. Please call the vote.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Moving on to public hearing liquor resolutions. Madam Clerk.
I'll call item 4A, application of RC's Boxing Productions, Inc., doing business as RC's Boxing Productions for an addition of an outdoor area measuring approximately 2 acres behind the establishment at 1555 Yolanda Ave.
All right. With the applicant, yes. Hi, Ms. Arciaga.
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm well. How are you?
Thank you. Well,
Name, address, phone number.
Tina Arciaga, 1555 Yolanda Avenue, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68521. Do you want the business or home address?
Business is fine.
Okay.
Your business address is fine.
Oh, yeah, I just...
Gave that.
Yep, you gave it, so that's good. So could you tell us a little bit about your business and your expansion?
So we want to just do the outside liquor license just to have events outside, if you will. So if we want to do a boxing outside, we'll have that opportunity. Or if we want to do an outside venue of, say, for example, like a concert, if you will, just to kind of expand that so we can utilize the space more readily.
Okay. All right. I noticed on your application that you said you were within 150 feet of a school, and I looked, and it looks like it's the University of Nebraska,
Yes.
not a secondary or primary school. I mean, not a high school or whatever.
Yes, I think it's the soccer field.
Yeah. I may ask a question of Investigator Parker on that one.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions? Thank you.
Just to confirm, and for folks watching, the space we're talking about is the former Champions Fun Center, correct?
Yes.
Yep. So we're adjacent to a highway, we're in an industrial area, large piece of ground, even though we might be adjacent to the soccer fields. So, okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
One other question, just a good point, Councilman. Is the property completely fenced?
Oh, yes, all the way around.
Perfect.
Absolutely. And we're, like I said, we're just an event facility only. So we're in and out. So like we're having an event from 8 to 11, 8 to 12. That's what we're in the business for.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Investigator Parker.
Scott Parker, 575 South 10th Street.
Right. When you saw the application and they had checked the distance to a school, did that raise any flags for you?
No, not at all. No. That's something, if it's like outside concert or something like that, we would have to do, much like we did with the Grove, just make sure that the sound isn't going to be intruding into any of the neighborhoods or anything like that. But given their location,
Yeah.
that's not a concern.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Does anyone else have any other questions or comments? All right. Then let's move ahead.
I'll call item 4B, application of Zoo Blues Inc., doing business as Zoo Bar, for a special designated license to cover an outdoor area measuring approximately 516 feet by 195 feet at 14th Street between O and P Street on July 4th and 5th from 2 p.m. to 1 a.m. and July 6th of 2024 from 12 p.m. to 1 a.m.
All right. Is anyone here coming forward to speak on this special designated license? Okay. Seeing no one. Would anyone here like to speak on this issue, either in favor or in opposition?
Madam Chair, seeing no one else coming forward to talk on items 4A or 4B, I would like to motion that we approve them.
Second, Carlson. Thank you, Councilman Shob. Madam Clerk, would you move us toward the vote?
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
All right. Next, public hearing resolutions, 5A.
Item 5A is accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for May 1st through May 15th of 2024.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? Is anyone here to speak on this item 5A, claims against the city? Seeing none, let's move forward.
We can now vote on this item. Item 5A is accepting and approving the report of new and pending claims against the city for May 1st through May 15th of 2024, introduced by Carlson.
So moved. Second.
Second, Weber. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's proceed to vote.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
All right. Moving forward to public hearing ordinances, second reading, and related resolutions. Madam Clerk.
I'll call item 6A, approving the memorandum of understanding between the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and Lincoln Lancaster County Public Building Commission and Capital Businesses Systems, Inc., on behalf of Rico USA, Inc., to lease Rico copy machines for a term to expire on January 25th of 2026, with the option to renew for 5 one-year term.
Good afternoon. Lynn Heaton, Director of Finance, 555 South 10th Street. With me today is Purchasing Agent Pete Kroll. Today we are requesting your approval of a memorandum of understanding with Lincoln-based provider Capital Business Systems to provide Rico brand copier and multifunction printer, or MFP, products and services to City of Lincoln departments. After experiencing challenges with our current copier and multifunction printer provider, we've been working hard to find a better solution. The existing equipment from the current provider is outdated, mostly 6 to 7 years old, limited in functionality, and has resulted in technical support and copy count issues. To address this, the purchasing division partnered with an alternative copier MFP vendor, Capital Business Systems, to assess departmental needs. Their analysis identified opportunities for improved, more modern copiers and MFPs at a competitive cost. This master agreement with Capital Business Systems will allow individual departments to lease modern state-of-the-art equipment tailored to their specific needs. Due to the great work of the purchasing team, these new equipment leases will be offered at very competitive prices. Purchasing and information services will collaborate with each department and the current provider to smoothly phase out the existing equipment that's in place in departments. IS will remain the point of contact for fax functionality if needed, and technical support with Capital Business Systems. So what's next? If we're successful in gaining your approval of this MOU, representatives designated by individual departments will be contacted soon, and in fact, some may be already getting arranged to have those conversations by Capital Business Systems to discuss and finalize their specific equipment needs, lease options, and to arrange the individualized department-level lease agreements. We believe this new partnership with Capital Business Systems will provide significant improvements in terms of equipment functionality, reliability, customer service, and cost effectiveness. And thank you, and we'd be happy to address any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Mr. Beckius?
Lynn, Pete,
Yes.
thank you. Appreciate it. Quick question. Can you explain to me, Lynn, you'd mentioned that Capital Business
Capital
Systems?
Business Systems.
They're a local company?
They are.
And are they involved, Pete, in some sort of an affiliation that's bringing this equipment into Lincoln? Or can you explain the contract that we have in front of us has some other partners named?
Rico in particular,
Rico,
yes.
but also maybe University of California. Can you just explain, Pete, a little bit about the makeup there, just so I understand it a little
Sure.
bit better?
Sure. This is through a cooperative, Omnia Partners, and through that cooperative, this was solicited by the University of California.
Okay.
And we're leveraging that cooperative to get the best value for the city of Lincoln and Lancaster County.
And that would have, through the University of California, included a competitive process. And so we're, rather than needing to repeat our own competitive RFP process, this is available to us.
That's great. I was interested in Omni and how that played into each other, and it sounds like a good opportunity to take advantage of some increased purchasing power. So, okay, thanks for answering the question. I appreciate it.
Thank you for asking the question. I was curious why we were
Yeah.
piggybacked onto a University of California contract, but let's take advantage.
You bet.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right. Thank you
you
very
all.
much. Is anyone here to speak on this item, either in support or opposition? Is anyone here from the public to speak on this item? Seeing none, let's move forward.
I'll call item 6B, change of zone 24011, application of the Lincoln Lancaster County Planning Department to change the zone from H1 Interstate Commercial Highway to H3 Highway Commercial District on property generally located at North 27th Street and Wildcat Drive.
All right. Good afternoon.
Steve Hendrickson with the Planning Department, 555 South 10th Street. This is a pretty straightforward change of zone. Notified the 5 property owners involved, didn't receive any comments or objections. It basically is to eliminate the last 5 lots that are zoned H1. We'll be eliminating the H1 zoning district. It was a very restrictive district as it was created in 1979, and not a lot of people, because of those restrictions, sought to use it. The H3 allows them actually more uses and more ability to use their property. So there weren't any objections for it, so it's a pretty straightforward application.
Do any of the counselors have any questions for Mr. Henriksen? All right, thank you very much. Is anyone here to speak on this item, either in support or opposition? Is anyone here to speak on this item? Seeing none, we will move forward. Madam Clerk.
I'll call items 6C and 6D together. Item 6C and D is Comprehensive Plan Conformance 24009, application of PAR 72 LLC to review as to conformance with the 2050 Lincoln and Lancaster County Comprehensive Plan to provide a conservation easement in the city's favor over the Phase 1 flood storage area within the West View Planned Unit Development on portion of Outlot D on property generally located at West A and Southwest 36th Street, and the related corporation warranty deed for the City of Lincoln to PAR 72 LLC for the property legally described as Lot 131 and Lot 132, irregular tracts located in the southwest quarter of Section 29, Township 10 North, Range 6, Lincoln, Lancaster County, Nebraska.
Good afternoon, members of the City Council. Danae Kalkowski appearing today on behalf of PAR 72. So back in July of last year, we were in front of you with a project out here on the northeast corner of Southwest 40th Street and West A Street called Westview. There were lots of components to this project, but we were master planning a PUD out here, a planned unit development. Along with that, we had an annexation agreement that master planned the infrastructure. And part of that planned unit development, you might recall, included, we have a kind of an area that's in the floodplain to the north of the site. And there was discussion about creation of some additional flood storage volume within the floodplain in that area. In fact, PAR 72 worked with the youth complex to provide some additional flood storage on this property. So as part of that PUD, we agreed, and one of the conditions of it was once the grading was completed on that Phase 1, we would come back and ask for a conservation easement on that area that would allow, put some restrictions on it to protect basically the flood storage volume that's been created there. So that's the first item, is basically the conservation easement for the Phase 1 area. You'll note on the PUD plan there's a much larger area here, so there's additional storage volume anticipated to be created with the future phases of grading out here, but this is just the first phase. So you'll probably see us back in the future with another conservation easement for a little bit larger area. Okay, so that's kind of the first application. Then the second one, maybe let me orient you to where I'm at. The next map I'm going to put up for you is right around the new roundabout that's been constructed at Southwest 36th Street. So as part of the annexation agreement for that Westview development, there were a couple agreements made between the developer and the city. The developer agreed to grant all of the right-of-way and easements that the city might need along West A Street for the West A Street widening project and the roundabout being constructed there at Southwest 36th Street. As part of that project, the city acquired some right-of-way, had to acquire, I think, an entire lot. And so we knew there would be some excess right-of-way once the city was done with the construction of the project. And so in the annexation agreement, we agreed basically there would be a swap. PAR 72 would grant their right-of-way at no cost, and the city would grant the excess right-of-way or deed the excess property back to PAR 72 to be included in their final plat. So that's really what this item does. There's a deed, I think, that would transfer these two little ITs, which are the excess pieces that the city owns, to PAR 72 as part of a swap. And I'd be happy to answer any questions on either one of those items, but they're both just following what was sort of contemplated and master planned in the annexation agreement and the PUD.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions? Well, then I would like to just make a comment that this is a complicated thing, and I want to, kudos to you and to your client to work through the details of this.
Thank you.
And to come up with all of the things that are going to make this work.
Yep.
And of course, we'll look forward to see the next couple phases.
Yeah, there'll be a few more things that we'll be back in front of you with. So,
okay,
great.
the project
Thank
that
you.
doesn't end. Thank you. Is anyone here to speak on this item? Anyone else here to speak on this item, either in support or in opposition? Seeing none, we'll move forward. Madam Clerk.
We can now move to Section 7, ordinances, third reading and related resolutions. Item 7A is approving the land exchange agreement by and between the city and Coswold Management LLC involving exchange of properties generally located at 7th and M Streets. Additional agreements approved with the land exchange agreement included protective covenants and easement, First Amendment and restatement of development agreement, non-exclusive water quality easement and maintenance agreement, termination of west landscape boundary wall easement, termination of parking easement, access easement, maintenance and enforcement agreement, and right of first refusals, and boundary wall pedestrian gate, motor vehicle gate, and fence easement agreement, introduced by Bowers.
Second?
Second, Beckius, and thanks to Councilman Shob moving for Bowers. Any comments or discussion? Let's vote.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0. Item 7B is approving amendment number 1 to the real property agreement with the West Haymarket JPA for transfers of real property generally located at West Haymarket 4th Edition, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Beckius. I'm sorry, any discussion? All right, let's vote.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
All right.
Item 7C is amending the pay schedule for certain employee groups by adjusting the pay range for employees whose classifications are assigned to the pay ranges prefixed by the letter F to be effective August 17th of 2023, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Beckius. Any discussion? All right, let's proceed.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
All right.
Item 7D is amending Lincoln Municipal Code Section 12.08.010, definitions to clarify the definition for hiker-biker trail by amending Chapter 12.08 by adding a new section number 12.08.025 entitled Operation on Trails Prohibited to prohibit operation of certain motorized vehicles on shared use path and hiker-biker trails, and by amending Section 12.08.280 Rules and Regulations, waterways to clarify the prohibition of swimming, bathing, and wading in fountains, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Beckius.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I would like to introduce a motion to amend Bill 2460, which the motion to amend on page 3, line 4, exchanges out the word multi-use, after the word multi-use, strikes out the word paths and instead inserts the word trails. So we are moving from multi-use paths to multi-use trails on that particular bill.
Thank you. That is a good clarification. All right. Any discussion? Oh, we need a second.
I'll second the motion to amend.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion on the motion to amend? All right. Any discussion on the main motion? I'd like to say something on the main motion. First, thank you to the Parks Department for getting into this conversation. I know that there were a lot of folks who wrote in emails. Yes. Oops.
Do we vote on the motion to amend?
We should vote on
Yep.
the amendment first. Okay, let's vote on the motion to amend.
Okay, Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Okay, thank you very much for the correction. I just wanted to thank everyone who wrote in. I know there were a lot of concerns and questions about regulating e-bikes, and I just wanted to clarify that this main motion does not regulate e-bikes on multi-use trails here in Lincoln. It, as we all heard last week, it will spur a conversation, and so we will have a conversation about the use of e-bikes, recognizing that there's many items that we need to discuss on this one, and there's many perceptions, and so the Parks Department will lead that conversation and do the research necessary so that we can have a full understanding of where that will go. So thank you. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say on the main motion?
Yeah, well stated.
All right, then let's move to the vote.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Madam Clerk?
Next would be Section 8, our resolutions first readings are items 8A through 8E. Section 9 is ordinances first readings are items 9A through 9F. And Section 10 is our pending list, items 10A through 10J.
Madam Chair, I move adjournment.
All right. A second?
Second.
Second, Weber. Madam Clerk?
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Beckius.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. We are adjourned.